Okay, so please don't take anything I say as an expert opinions on bug out stuff. But given that we did host this class with Ready Man last week, I feel it's particularly relevant subject matter right now, and we just put out really good training material on it. So as was just discussed, this is my, if I needed to grab it, just get the hell back to my house, that's the bag for it. Super lightweight, and that's what it's for. My personal philosophy, as I've chosen to do it, is I want an oversupply bag, right? Here's the stuff that I would like to make a game time decision on. Do I have the capacity to be able to take that item, or do I need to leave it behind? That's what this bag is, okay? If I gotta go super light, that's my super light plan. If I can load up that bag, because that bag's not even close to being full, if I can throw some extra shit in there, this is the bag that I can pull and take some stuff from. So I'll walk you through a little bit about what is in here. So I've got a fixed blade. This one's from Tops. Even though this knife is almost comically like hardcore, I do have to admit I actually really like this knife. It's a Steel Eagle from Tops. Also in here, we've got a multi-tool. So I've got a multi-tool and a fixed blade. Obviously, if weight was a giant consideration, this knife is highly not efficient from a weight perspective. A little bit of backup water that is currently has a slight leak in it. So backup water there. Really, there's not a ton that is in here. So I have an outer layer. I just have a little bit of a shell. That way, if I needed something with this is from Katanica. It's both weather resistant and it's fairly warm. So it'd be a good sort of mixed weather use jacket. I keep a backup belt in here. Believe it or not, these are actually really phenomenal belts for shooting. This was something I got from Travis Haley, but I remember in a course him rocking one of these. To tell you the honest truth, I cannot remember who these were made by, but they were actually really, really solid belts. So keep something in there that's a little more substantial if I needed it. Factoring in that goofy dog that's running around, keep a backup lead. So that's a 15-foot tracking lead that we would use for doing detection work. But look, this is strong enough how you could probably tow something with it. You could do a lot of different things with this, but that's largely in case Finn needed a backup lead. Obviously in a Ziploc bag. Couple Cliff Bars and backup toilet paper, because you just don't know how much you're gonna have to shit walking 3 miles. Who really knows? I will say this on food. This bag is missing 2 things currently that are on my list. It's missing an N95 face mask. That's not tied to Corona. That was just simply on Ready Man's bug out list. So obviously I'm not getting one of those right now because I don't think you can get those right now, but that will be on the list, and backup food. So this would be a bag where I would like to have a 3-day food supply. I'll probably get one of those SS or SOS bars that it's 72-hour food supply that's just super compact. Probably gonna taste like shit, but at least it's something. Trash bag, again, could use as a poncho, shelter, hold water, could do a lot of different stuff with that. This is my backup little clothing pack. So I've got compression shorts, which I know sounds goofy, but again, one of the things that came up in the class is chafing. So blisters for your feet, obviously, but those of us, which is basically every dude, or I don't know, the females get chafed? I don't know. But chafing sucks, right? So some compression shorts, that way, hey, if I do have to hike 5 miles and it's hot and I'm wearing just some like bullshit boxers or something, that's gonna be a rough day. So some compression shorts, backup pair of hiking socks, just smart wool socks. That's just a buff, honestly, like one of these things you throw over your head. You could wear it as a neck. Honestly, for me, it was mostly if I was just trying to keep the sun off of myself. And a base layer, long sleeve top base layer, just something to add some warmth if it happened to be cold outside. This bag, again, this is all optional stuff. So this is where I go a little heavier on medical. So we've got a trauma kit with all that good stuff if you needed to patch a wound or, got a laceration or something like that. So we've got a trauma kit. Then more of a general first aid kit, just something that's, relatively lightweight with your Band-Aids and, ointments and stuff like that. And then The last little bag here. People will probably make fun of me for this, but you can make fun of me all you want. That's a little SAS survival guide. I know that might sound goofy because you're like, fucking pussy, you don't know how to survive. How many of us really do, right? If you got in a pinch and you got stuck out here and you had to make it through, there's some shit I don't know that at least I would like the option to be able to reference it inside of that. Backup paracord, little carabiner attached. Backup water purification, just some drops. Some backup shoelaces, even though, as Jeff mentioned in the class, shoelaces are pretty damn good these days, but it's definitely one of those things you regret. Obviously, you could use the paracord, you could do some different stuff with that, but some backup shoelaces. And then a little Write in the Rain notebook, just something if I had to jot down some notes, and a pen and a Sharpie. Sharpie obviously going to be a lot better if you were trying to whatever, you know, write your blood type on yourself or leave a message on like a street sign or something like that. So a Sharpie and a pen. And then the last thing, one backup solution for starting fire. So I just have a backup lighter, nothing fancy, just standard Bic lighters. The only other consideration I would maybe make, and this is really not a plug, even though it feels a little like it, because keep in mind, this is not mine and I don't get to keep it. But this bag, so I have a dedicated bag that would be with me that would have a rifle and some jammed up mags, tourniquet, like more of like a weapons bag, like shit just popped off in the streets, right? And like I need that bag. I have that bag separate, but if you wanted to throw something super compact in that bug out bag, I gotta tell you, like, you could make a really strong argument for something like that flex brace, whether it's on an MP17 or a Glock or whatever it is. The ability to have a little shoulder-fired weapon that you could have in that bug-out bag, I could make a really, really strong case for it. It's compact, it doesn't take up much space. Like, that's how much space it takes up. It's a little heavier than a pistol with 2 mags, obviously. But damn, make a really, really strong case for that. So again, that's the oversupply bag. This is stuff that, hey, if it was necessary and if I could handle the weight, I could pick and pull a couple things from this bag. That's it. Thanks, everyone.